Have you ever wondered what it is about that one guy? He might not be the richest, the tallest, or the most handsome, but women seem utterly captivated by him. What's his secret? Is it some magical formula, a secret code of attraction? The answer, I've found, is far more fascinating. As a psychologist who has spent years sitting across from people navigating the dizzying maze of love, lust, and connection, I can tell you it's not magic. It's a powerful, intricate dance between biology and psychology, between primal brain chemistry and the deeply personal stories we carry in our hearts. Let's pull back the curtain and explore the very wiring that can lead a woman from simple interest to a state of profound, all-consuming obsession. Chapter 1. The Anatomy of Obsession. Is it love or limerence? First, we need to get our terms straight. When clients come to me talking about being obsessed, they're often describing one of two very different things. One is a deep, thrilling, all-encompassing love. The other is a state of anxious, painful fixation that feels more like an addiction than an affection. Most of the time, the kind of obsession that has someone frantically checking their phone for a reply or analyzing a simple text message for hours isn't healthy attraction, it's anxiety. Many online discussions reveal this confusion. A woman might post, "He took 2 hours to reply. What does it mean?" This isn't a sign that the man is a master of attraction. It's often a sign that her anxious attachment style has been triggered. This psychological blueprint, often formed in childhood, creates a deep-seated fear of abandonment. When a man is inconsistent, warm one moment, distant the next, it can activate this anxiety, creating a powerful push-pull dynamic. She mistakes the roller coaster of anxiety and relief for intense love, becoming obsessed with figuring him out and securing his affection. This isn't a healthy relationship. It's often a trauma bond in the making, where she's trying to make sense of his hot and cold behavior. Some women become fixated because a man subconsciously reminds them of a past relationship or even how a parent treated them, recreating a familiar, albeit painful, dynamic. Then there's limerence, a term coined by psychologist Dorothy Tenoff. This isn't just a crush. It's an involuntary state of intense infatuation characterized by intrusive, obsessive thoughts about a limerent object, the person of her affection. It thrives on uncertainty and hope. When the person's feelings are unclear, the limerent individual spends an enormous amount of mental energy, sometimes over 85% of their waking hours, fantasizing, replaying interactions, and searching for scraps of evidence that their feelings are reciprocated. This state feels like an addiction because neurochemically, it is one. A small sign of interest provides an ecstatic high, while perceived rejection leads to crushing despair. This isn't about the real person. It's an obsession with a crystallized, idealized version of them, where flaws are ignored or even seen as charming. So, when we talk about what makes a woman obsessed, it's crucial to distinguish between inspiring a deep, secure, and passionate bond versus triggering an anxious, painful fixation. The latter is often achieved through manipulation, inconsistency, and emotional unavailability, tactics that exploit a woman's insecurities. The former, however, is built on a foundation of genuine, powerful, and scientifically backed principles of attraction. Let's focus on that one. Chapter 2. The Chemical Cocktail. The biology of the binge before psychology ever enters the room. Biology lays the groundwork. Falling in love at its core is a potent neurobiological event. It's not just a feeling. It's a flood of chemicals that work together to create a powerful feedback loop, much like a drug. It all starts with attraction, one of 3 distinct motivation systems, alongside lust and attachment. The attraction phase is where the obsession often begins. Her brain is doused in a cocktail of powerful neurotransmitters. Dopamine. This is the reward chemical. When she's with a man who excites her, her brain's reward centers, like the ventral tegmental area, VTA, and nucleus accumbens, light up like a pinball machine. This is the same system that activates with addictive drugs. The pleasure hit makes her want more of the source, him. Norepinephrine. This is the adrenaline-like chemical that puts her on high alert. It's responsible for the racing heart, sweaty palms, and that feeling of euphoria. It also increases focus and memory formation, which is why, in the early stages of love, she can't stop thinking about him and every little detail of their time together. She may even have trouble sleeping or eating. Serotonin. Interestingly, levels of serotonin, a mood stabilizer, tend to drop in early-stage romantic love. Lowered serotonin is also observed in people with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, which might help explain the obsessive, intrusive thinking characteristic of being newly in love. This chemical rush is often amplified by oxytocin, the bonding hormone, released during physical touch from cuddling to sex. Oxytocin breaks down emotional barriers, fosters trust, and creates a profound sense of attachment. Women produce more of it than men, which is one reason women can sometimes form strong emotional bonds after physical intimacy. When she's not with him, her oxytocin levels drop, and she craves another hit, making her feel almost addicted to his presence. Let's not forget the hormonal dance of her monthly cycle. A woman's desires and mood are in constant flux due to shifting levels of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Around ovulation, roughly days 8-14 of her cycle, estrogen and testosterone peak. This surge not only increases her libido, but also boosts her confidence, optimism, and feelings of attractiveness. During this window, she's biologically primed to be more receptive to romantic advances and may feel a stronger pull toward masculine traits. In contrast, in the premenstrual phase, days 23 to 28, a sharp drop in estrogen and progesterone can lead to feelings of irritability and negativity, making her more sensitive and less open. Understanding this isn't about timing your move perfectly. It's about recognizing that her internal landscape is constantly changing, influencing how she perceives and connects with you. This powerful biological symphony explains the raw, visceral intensity of falling in love. But if it were just chemicals, love would be a predictable equation. It's not, because this potent cocktail is poured into a unique psychological vessel, her personal history and attachment style. Chapter 3. The Psychological Blueprint, the Man. Who captivates her mind chemistry gets you in the door, but psychology is what makes her want to stay. A woman's obsession with a man is rarely just about his objective qualities. It's about how those qualities interact with her own psychological operating system. The power of attachment styles, as we touched on. A woman's attachment style is arguably the most significant predictor of how she'll behave in a relationship. Developed in early childhood based on her relationship with her caregivers, it dictates how she views intimacy and connection. A woman with a secure attachment style is the ideal. She's comfortable with intimacy and interdependence, but also confident on her own. She falls in love deeply, but her world doesn't end if a text goes unanswered for a few hours. She builds connection on trust and mutual respect, not anxiety. A woman with an anxious, preoccupied attachment style craves high levels of intimacy and approval, and often doubts her own worth. She's the one most likely to become obsessed in the unhealthy sense, valuing intimacy to the point of becoming overly dependent. She may see a man's inconsistency not as a red flag, but as a challenge to win his love. A woman with a dismissive, avoidant attachment style desires independence and often sees close relationships as unimportant. When things get too intimate, her instinct is to pull away. She may be attracted to a man, but she'll actively try to shut those feelings down to protect her self-sufficiency. A woman with a fearful, avoidant attachment style lives in a painful paradox. She desperately wants intimacy but is terrified of it, often due to past trauma or loss. She sees herself as unworthy of love and doesn't trust others' intentions. A man who understands these styles can navigate relationships with far more wisdom and empathy. He'll recognize that an anxious woman's obsession isn't a trophy, but a cry for security, and that an avoidant woman's distance isn't necessarily rejection, but a defense mechanism. The bad boy paradox and the dark triad. This brings us to the age-old question: why are women so often drawn to bad boys? A common phrase goes, "Bad boy ain't good, good boy ain't fun." From a psychological perspective, the bad boy archetype pushes several powerful attraction buttons. It's crucial to distinguish between a true bad boy, confident, unpredictable, lives by his own rules, and a jerk who is simply disrespectful or cruel. The real allure of the bad boy often lies in traits that signal high value and excitement. Unpredictability and scarcity. He's not always available. He has his own life, his own purpose. This creates a chase dynamic. In marketing, this is called the scarcity effect. We value what is rare or hard to obtain. His unpredictability creates an emotional roller coaster. which, as mentioned, can be mistaken for intense passion, especially by someone with an anxious attachment style. Confidence and dominance. He is unapologetically himself. This confidence is intoxicating because it signals genetic fitness and social dominance. He doesn't seek her approval, which paradoxically makes her want it more. He knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. A hint of mystery. He's an enigma, a puzzle to be solved. He doesn't reveal everything at once, which keeps her intrigued and thinking about him, trying to figure him out. However, there's a dark side to this allure. These same traits are hallmarks of the dark triad personalities: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Men high in these traits are masters of short-term mating strategies. They possess superficial charm, a grandiose self-view, and an ability to manipulate and exploit others without remorse. They are adept at selling themselves and can be incredibly attractive, especially to women who are not looking for a long-term commitment. One study found that women rated male characters exhibiting high dark triad traits as significantly more attractive, an effect that wasn't just due to perceived extroversion or confidence. It seems there is something inherently captivating about these bad boys, perhaps as a holdover from an evolutionary past where such traits signaled survival and reproductive success. Chapter 4. The Pillars of Lasting Devotion. Becoming the Man. She can't forget triggering. Anxiety and playing games might create a temporary obsession, but it will never build a lasting, meaningful bond. The kind of obsession that high-value, secure women feel is different. It's a deep, unwavering devotion born from respect, admiration, and profound connection. This isn't about being a nice guy who is passive and agreeable. It's about being a good man who is strong, present, and emotionally attuned. Pillar 1. Create emotional and physical safety. This is the bedrock of all healthy relationships. Above all else, a woman needs to feel safe with a man. Studies show women prioritize emotional security over looks or wealth. This isn't about being a bodyguard. It's about being a safe harbor for her heart. This means integrity, being honest and trustworthy. Your words and actions align. She doesn't have to second-guess your intentions. Taking responsibility. When you make a mistake, you own it. You don't play the blame game. This signals emotional maturity. Protective strength. This is not about aggression or dominance. It's about a calm, masculine presence that serves and protects. It's the feeling that you are on her side, that you are her ally, and that you want to see her succeed. Pillar 2. Master emotional intelligence, EQ. Emotional intelligence is consistently ranked as one of the most attractive traits a man can possess. It's the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and to recognize and influence the emotions of others. High EQ is a powerful predictor of relationship satisfaction and stability. For a woman, a man with high EQ is a man who gets her. This includes empathy and understanding. You don't just hear her words. You understand the feelings behind them. You can recognize her trials and tribulations and validate her experiences. Effective communication. You can express your own needs and feelings clearly and respectfully, and you can navigate conflict constructively instead of letting it escalate. Self-awareness. You understand your own emotional landscape and aren't ruled by it. You can remain calm and regulated, which in turn makes her feel secure. Pillar 3. The superpower of humor. Humor is far more than just telling a good joke. From an evolutionary perspective, it's a powerful fitness indicator. Why? Because producing humor requires intelligence, creativity, and verbal skill, all signs of high-quality genes. Research consistently shows that while both sexes value a sense of humor, they mean different things by it. Women are powerfully attracted to men who can produce humor, men who can make them laugh. They see it as a sign of intelligence and warmth. For many women, humor production is a necessity, not a luxury. Men, conversely, tend to value women who are receptive to their humor, women who laugh at their jokes. But humor also serves as an encryption of compatibility. When two people laugh at the same things, it's a powerful signal that they share similar values, cultural knowledge, and a worldview. It's a quick and reliable way to assess if you're on the same wavelength, which is crucial for a long-term partnership. Interestingly, studies have also shown that non-physical traits like a great sense of humor can actually make a man seem more physically attractive. This is the halo effect in action. A highly positive trait, like being funny, casts a halo over the person, causing us to view their other traits, including their looks, more favorably. Pillar 4. Cultivate charisma and purpose. Charisma isn't some mystical gift. It's a learnable set of skills that boils down to two key components: influence and affability. Influence is about leadership and presence. It's communicated through confident, open body language. It's about having a purpose, a direction in life that you are actively pursuing. A man with a clear purpose is inherently attractive because he isn't needy. His happiness isn't dependent on her. She can join him on his journey, but she isn't the entire journey. Affability is about warmth and making others feel at ease. It's a genuine smile, good eye contact, and the ability to listen with empathy. It communicates that you are a kind and caring partner. The most charismatic and attractive man is a blend of both. He has the strength and direction to lead, influence, but the warmth and kindness to connect, affability. He is confident in who he is, but also genuinely interested in who she is. He knows what he wants, but he's also supportive of what she wants. Conclusion: the art and science of being the one. So, what makes a woman obsessed with a man? The answer is as complex and beautiful as human nature itself. A fleeting, anxious obsession can be triggered by a man who is unpredictable, emotionally unavailable, or masterful at manipulation, a man who plays on her insecurities and attachment wounds. This is the path of the bad boy and the dark triad, a strategy built for short-term conquests that often leaves a trail of heartache. But the deep, lasting, healthy obsession, the kind that forms the foundation of a powerful and enduring love, is something entirely different. It's not a game to be won, but a connection to be built. It begins with the undeniable spark of biology, the intoxicating rush of dopamine and oxytocin. But it is cemented by psychology. It is forged in the fires of emotional safety and trust. It is nurtured by the profound understanding that comes with emotional intelligence. It is amplified by the shared joy of laughter and the undeniable pull of authentic charisma. Ultimately, the man who inspires this kind of devotion isn't playing by a script. He's not using tricks or formulas. He is simply a man who has done the work to become the best version of himself, secure, empathetic, purposeful, and confident enough to be both strong and kind. And in the eyes of the right woman, a man like that isn't just attractive. He's unforgettable. He becomes the one she obsesses over, not because of anxiety or uncertainty, but because she has found in him a safe place to land her heart.